Heading into the 2022 NFL Draft, there was kind of a discussion as to what the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to do. You talked about Travon Walker at 1, Aiden Hutchinson, even Sauce Gardner that we had in our mock draft with Minnesota bias. But I will say that, at the end of the day, I thought that the Jaguars had a solid draft all around. But don't take our word for it. We're actually going to continue with the draft grades for the 2022 Jacksonville Jaguars draft class. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So obviously, again, Travon Walker there at 1. I do have my reservations about it. I do like the player. I don't love the pick. In other words, I felt like maybe trading down would have been an option here, but Travon Walker, he's got all the physical tools you want. The question is, will he develop into being a major running mate with Josh Allen? We will see. But I had a total of 33 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss and 6 sacks last year for Georgia on their way to the national title win. So, I give it a B+ here because I do think there's a lot of things that I like about it, but we'll have to see overall. But I do like the player. I don't love the pick, if that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. He's going to be, I think he could be a very good player. Ceiling is obviously being that next, that next type of edge rusher that, like Myles Garrett or maybe does kind of just put his own name out there. Like he could be the next Travon Walker. Like that's how, he could create a whole new goal for edge rushers, or a whole new mold, excuse me. So that's the ceiling. The floor is, I think, is a backup edge rusher. I think he's still very respectable. You got to, if you can get the right coaching in there, I think he could be a very good player. Still in the first round, number 27th overall, the Jaguars traded back up. I believe it was with the Bucks to get Devin Lloyd out of Utah. Really like this. Really like this. A guy that had over 111 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks last year, as well as 4 interceptions. He's a stud in coverage. He just flies around making plays, and he's just going to be a really good player for him. I'm really excited to see what he does. Obviously, an A here, trading back up for a playmaker on defense. So, really going to be interesting to see how where they do use him, because I know they have him, they have Chad Mumma, they have got all these guys, on the inside. So I'm really interested to see what the Jags do. But I do think that the Jaguars are going to be in a better position defensively this year, which I think was the ultimate goal coming into the 2022 NFL Draft. But again, going to be interesting. Like we said, we'll see. We'll talk about Chad Mumma in just a second, but I'm really interested to see what they will do on the defensive side of the football with guys like Mumma, Devin Lloyd, all that on the inside, because I know they also have Foyesade Olokun there as well. So we'll see how it all unfolds. But the third round now, 65th pick overall, the Jaguars selected offensive lineman Luke Fortner out of Kentucky. I love Luke Fortner. I thought this was an A pick. He was a guy that honestly was going to go in that 3rd to 5th round range. Getting him in the 3rd here, I don't care. I think this was it. I think this was a guy that can play center, can play guard, do a lot of different things, and do it at a high level. We're talking about a guy that played over 840 snaps last year. Is it for the Kentucky Wildcats? I think so. Had an 85.0 PFF grade. A here for me. Like I said again, I think he's going to come in and start right away at center. So it's going to be Cam Robinson, Ben Barch, who I played against in college. Dude's a stud. Also Luke Fortner there. Brandon Scherf at right guard, and then Juwan Taylor at right tackle. Love it. So I knew some people were kind of telling me about they would like to see more protection for the Jaguars. I think that's a perfect offensive line. Also, Walker Little as a backup there, as a swing guy. We'll see, but I felt that was a very good. And do we want to start Walker Little at right tackle? Maybe. But overall, I really like how this Jaguars offensive line is looking. Luke Fortner was the missing piece. They got it. 3rd round, 70th overall, 5 picks later from the Fortner pick, the Jaguars selected linebacker Chad Mumma out of Wyoming. I loved this pick. I thought he was a guy that was going to go early to late 2nd round. Getting him in the 3rd round here, excellent value, excellent player. Over 140 tackles last year for the Cowboys. I think it's the Cowboys. 8 tackles for loss, a sack and a half. Also had 3 picks. I think he returned 1 or 2 of them for touchdowns as well. Love the pick because he's going to be a guy that might not start this year, because again, they do have a lot of guys on the inside, guys like Devin Lloyd. Also Foyesade Olokun, excuse me. I'm sorry if I get that wrong, but Mumma could be a guy that comes in and starts down the road. And plus, if the Jags do want to move on from Olukun's contract, in a year or two to kind of save some money, I think that's possible. Put Mumma in, let him do his thing. That's going to be really interesting overall. So I really liked the pick. In the 5th round, the Jaguars selected running back Snoop Connor. Love the name. Also liked the pick. Running back out of Ole Miss. Now, again, you do have some good backs in the backfield there, but Connor was a guy that had over 700 yards from scrimmage last year and 13 touchdowns. But you got a backfield that consists of James Robinson, who I believe sustained an injury. I think it was an Achilles, if I'm not mistaken. Travis Etienne Jr. as well, and then Raquel Armstead. And then Snoop Connor there. So Travis Etienne, excuse me, and also Connor in the backfield. I like it until James Robinson comes back. I love it. Love it. Gave it a B. I just felt like, it was a good value pick, good pick all around. Yeah, good stuff. 6th round, 197 overall. The Jaguars selected Gregory Jr. out of Conchita Baptist. I love it. What a school, man. I love it. 46 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 7 pass breakups. He's got the length, everything you want. Gave him a little bit of corner help as well. Gave it a B. Loved it. In the 7th round now, they selected another DB here. Number 222 overall, Monteric Brown, defensive back out of Arkansas. I did like this pick as well. Showed a little bit of ball hawking tendencies. Again, depth piece at the very least. Might see some playing time for the Jaguars, but I did like it there. So 54 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 5 interceptions. Yeah, I think just top to bottom, this draft was exactly what the Jaguars needed. You don't need 10, 11, 12 picks to come in and play, or 3 or 4 of those picks to come in and play, and then maybe have practice squad guys. No, you need 4 or 5 good players. That's what they got in the first 4 picks at the very least there. Then you got a couple of guys that will come in. So I love it. A top to bottom, a solid all-around draft. I think the Jaguars really put themselves in a solid position. I'd say overall B+. The only thing is I probably would have liked to see, just maybe a better offensive line, like a backup, like them go backup offensive lineman, because after those starting 5 we talked about in Robinson, Barch, Fortner, Scherf, and Taylor. You do have Walker a little, but you also got some guys on the back end there in terms of the backups that I'm like, I don't know. But overall, you can't complain about this draft. You hit everything you wanted, and yeah, I absolutely love it. But that's it. That's our 2022 Jacksonville Jaguars draft grades. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our 2022 Jacksonville Jaguars draft class grades.